Hey everybody, Big Anklevich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore, and it is Monday, June 19th, 2023, and this is the update for week 3 of my journey to Wonderland using beef, butter, bacon, and eggs carnivore and alternate day fasting this week. You're watching Big Anklevich on health. Okay, so my videos are just getting way too long these days, so we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into the daily reports and see if we can not waste too much time on anything else. It is Monday, and a good day today. Do I ever say anything different? I don't know. It's just fine. I got up and I checked my numbers this morning, and that was a good thing. My blood sugar was a little higher. It was at 133. Which is like 20 higher than yesterday. And I can understand that because I ate 2 meals yesterday instead of just 1. But my ketones were through the friggin' roof. My ketones were 3.6, which is a lot more than any other time. I was mentioning each day I was getting a record this past week. This one's a huge record. I don't know if I'll, when I'll be able to beat it. And that is pretty exciting. So you put those two together, a slightly higher blood sugar and a way higher ketones, that brings my Dr. Boz ratio all the way down to 37, well under the 40 threshold that she says that we want to get to. So that is pretty exciting to me. Hopefully I can keep that up. I don't know. We'll have to see. What was it that even caused that? Why did I get such high ketones? I ate 2 meals. Is it because I ate more? That's going to be weird, especially considering that I'm not eating today because today's a fast day. So after waking up and doing my measurements, I didn't eat anything. Didn't eat anything all day. I did go on a walk, and it wasn't nearly as bad as the other day where there was just sticks and branches everywhere. There's some off at the side of the road, but they mostly had it cleared up and looking good. And I didn't just go on a walk. I went on a run. I did the same thing that I did last time around. There's different programs out there. They have different ideas of what you should do in your couch to 5K. And the one that I looked at the other day was walk 1 minute, run 1 minute, and repeat that 10 times. This time around, I looked at one and it said walk 1 minute, run 1 minute, walk 2 minutes. And I just thought, why do I need to walk so much? Especially, it's easier than what I did last time on the first day. So I just did the same thing again. I walked 1 minute, ran 1 minute, 10 times. And I'll take a look at all the various programs and figure it out. But, I'm going to count today as the starting day because that's the way they have it set up. That you do, your 4 weeks starting from on a Monday. So that's going to be my plan. And today was day 1. I don't know how far I'll go with it, but at the very least, I'm starting it. I don't know. Hopefully that's a good thing and not a bad thing. I guess we'll find out as time goes by. If I'm lucky, I'll lose a bunch of weight, and then I won't have to worry so much about the damage it might do to my joints. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's fasting time, and I'll be doing it for a while. I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow to see how it went. It is Tuesday, and another good day, I'll have to say. Got up this morning, and I decided that I would do my walk before I broke my fast. So first of all, I did my numbers, my measurements, and my ketones remained at 3.6, and my blood sugar was all the way down now to 87. So with numbers like that, that means my Dr. Boz ratio is going to be really good. Today it was 24. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. That's a pretty good ratio. That's got to be doing me some good. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, I got my shoes on and I went out for a walk. It was an interesting walk. There's this bridge that I walk over every day that goes over a canal that's like a drainage canal, because otherwise we would flood like crazy around here. Sometimes we flood anyways, even with the drainage canal. But in this drainage canal, there are often turtles. They're always little, or relatively little, you know, just small little red-eared sliders is what live around here mostly. But today I saw a big old turtle down there, and I turned aside. I'm like, I got to go down there and take a look at this thing and take a picture. So I went down, this big old turtle, took the picture, and I think I posted on Facebook asking people what it was, and they said that it was a soft shell turtle. I think they said a Guadalupe soft shell turtle. I've seen them swimming before. There's this place around here called Turtle Bridge where there's a whole bunch of turtles, and I've seen some of those soft shell turtles swimming in there, but I've never seen one walking up and down the canal like that. I was pretty interested, but that wasn't it. You know, I did my walk. I kept going. I was doing pretty good. You know, I wasn't trying to do a fast walk. I was just, you know, today's a rest day. I wasn't running today, so I was just walking. Just past the halfway mark, all of a sudden I see a deer walk across the trail in front of me. And so I had to pull out my camera again and get more pictures. I've only ever seen a deer one other time, although my wife says that she's seen them before too. So it's not that uncommon, but the last time that I saw a deer, I pulled out my camera and I sat there filming it, I thought, and then when I finished, I hit the stop button, and instead of stopping, it started, which means that I wasn't filming. And I did the exact same thing today. So I had to, luckily it didn't disappear, it didn't bound away. So I was able to actually go back and get a shot of the deer. So you get to see the deer that I saw on my walk. After my walk, I came back and broke my fast at 37 minutes and 37 hours and 46 minutes. I had myself some bacon and eggs. And then later in the day, I had myself stew meat. The stew meat wasn't very good today. I think I overcooked it. It was really chewy. And I mean, stew meat is not ribeye steak. It's already kind of chewier, tougher meat to begin with. You know, generally you're supposed to put it in a stew and cook it for a long time, you know, like slow cook it or whatever, like a roast. But I usually get by fine by, you know, just cooking it in the air fryer for 15 minutes or so. But today, yeah, it was not good. It was so chewy, so tough, and just not fun. But anyways, now I am back fasting again, and should go for about 40 hours, and I'll tell you guys all about it tomorrow. It is Wednesday, everybody, and this morning I got up, and as usual, I did my numbers. My blood sugar is still pretty good. It was at 98. Sadly, my ketones came down a little bit. They were only 2.2, and that brought my Dr. Boz ratio back down to earth. I was in the 20s yesterday. Today, 44. It's not bad. That's where it should be, or at least close to where it should be. I don't know. It's right where I want it to be to keep me making progress. So I suppose that means I'll keep making progress. It was a fasting day, so there's no eating today. I did go on a run today. I'm still doing those couch to 5K things. So far, haven't hurt my back yet, so it's interesting. Today, it was supposed to be run 1 minute, walk 1 minute, 10 times today, which I've done already twice, I think. Because I did an extra day ahead of the real start of it. I started for real on Monday, so this is like the second day, but kind of the third day. So just for the heck of it, I added 2 extra runs. And then as I was doing them, I thought, you know what, I probably should go to 13 instead of just 12. And then as I was doing it, And I got closer to that last one. I thought, you know what? I could do the last one to be one where I push myself really hard and I try and run faster. And so that's what I did. It was interesting. Here's video of me doing the run. I don't know if I can do this. If, you know, once I get to the point where I'm running all the time, I don't know if I'll be able to do these, because like this video is kind of bouncy and, you know, unwatchable. I don't know. Maybe I'll quit, or maybe I'll set up the camera somehow and run past it. I used to do that back when I was running a lot, almost 10 years ago. I made videos like that. So who knows? But yeah, fasting today. I have had some good hunger. I know that I kind of brush that kind of stuff off generally on here. And it's not that I don't feel it. I'm just kind of more used to it, I think, than the average person is. I've been doing this for 5 years on and off. And when it first happened, when I first went to fasting, I had to build up to it. I built up to it for months before I was even able to do OMAD the first time. And yeah, that was a big step for me. The day when I was just like, okay, not bringing any food to work, and that means no dinner for me. I'm just gonna have one meal. It was a big deal, but you know, from there, once you get used to it a little bit, you can really handle it pretty easy. And of course, Carnivore makes it super easy because you're always full. You're eating that fat and it's keeping you full, and so you suffer way less. I think most of the hunger just comes from your body saying, hey, you remember yesterday at this time we did this? So this is your reminder, we should do that again. And you have to say, oh yeah, we're not doing that today, but thanks for the reminder. That's what my body's been doing for the last hour or so. And I'm just like, thanks for the reminder, but you can stop. Okay, I'm good. We'll eat tomorrow. So yeah, that's what we'll do. It is Thursday, and so I put another fast to rest this morning. First of all, I woke up and I took my measurements first thing in the morning, as I do every morning now. And they were pretty darn good. So this fast really made a difference. My blood sugar was at 76, and my ketones were all the way up to 4.1, which is definitely the highest that I've ever had. So that brought my Dr. Boz ratio all the way back down to 18. Way lower than anything that I've had so far. Best I had, I think, was 24, 25, something like that, 27. So, man, this last fast worked really well. What was the difference? What got my ketones up so high this week? Was it alternate day fasting? Was it because of what I ate on my regular days? I'll have to keep an eye on it and figure it out. After finishing my numbers, I got my shoes on and I went for a walk. And it wasn't a walkity-walk. I was not going fast or trying really hard. It was just keep myself moving day. It was a rest day. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going on the marathon thing. I'm not sure if it's really even a good idea to do. I have heard a lot of people say that sprinting is the better thing to do if you really want to be healthy and put muscle on. If you want to take muscle off, if you want to get really, 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 really thin, then, you know, be a marathon runner. But maybe I'll try sprinting a couple times and see. I got time to mess around a little bit if I still want to do the marathon. I don't know. We'll have to look into it. But yeah, I did a walk, and I guess it's turtle week or something, because I saw another turtle today. This one was just crossing the path that I walk along. And so I stopped, and he hid away in his shell. I took a little picture of him, and then I slid him off the path so that hopefully nothing would happen to him. And I moved on. My numbers for the run, as you might have guessed, they're pretty lame. My pace was almost a full 20 minutes per mile, so Could have been a lot better, but I wasn't trying to go fast, and I was happy to just be slow. And I was still fasted. I hadn't eaten yet. After that, I finished my fast. I was at 42 hours and 36 minutes when I finally started eating, and I had myself eggs. I started with eggs because I wanted to see, every time I fast, I don't know if I've mentioned this on here or not, but usually when I fast, I have intestinal issues right afterwards. And this has always happened to me anytime I go a long time without food, even all the way back to when I was younger, well before I ever did carnivore or fasting. Once I was done, I would eat, and then, oh crap, it's on its way. I better find a bathroom fast. And I still kind of have that. It tends to be, I eat something, and then an hour later, it will happen. This time around, I thought maybe if I eat something less intense, it won't do that. So I ate just the eggs. And then I waited to see, and it was going fine. And so then I took a bite of bacon, and it was like the first bite. It was just like, okay, time to go to the bathroom. So it wasn't the bacon. I mean, the eggs did it too, because, I hadn't eaten any bacon for the most part. I don't know. I think it just has something to do with fasting and me. I always have that issue. I don't know if it'll ever go away, or, your body kind of shuts the digestion down if you don't eat for so long, and then it cranks it back up when you're done, and that can, I guess, come with some issues. So yeah, after that, so I had the bacon and the eggs. And then later on in the day, I had my last meal, which was a big old bowl of ground beef. So beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for me today, as it has been for a couple of weeks. And I'm doing good. And now I'm back fasting again. And it'll be another 40 hours before I eat again. So we'll see how that goes. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. It is Friday. And this morning I got up and I did my numbers. And my numbers were pretty good still. Not quite as good in some cases than yesterday, but still pretty good. My blood sugar was 97, which was a fair amount higher, but I ate yesterday. So, compare that to the day that I didn't eat, and yeah, it's going to be higher, I would expect. However, my ketones were now 4.5, which is several tenths of a point up from yesterday, and a brand new record for as high as I can get them. And that made my Dr. Boz ratio 21, which is a pretty good ratio. It's not 17, which was really good, but it's pretty good. And I'm sure I'm doing well getting healthy with a ratio like that. So that's good. It was a fast day, so I was not eating all day long. In the morning, I went out to do some exercise, and rather than do my regular walk or my regular run, I thought I would try out sprinting. I watched this video from this guy the other day.
Hey everybody, Dr. Sean here, doing a video on my favorite exercise, why I think it is the single best exercise for humans to do.
And he kind of convinced me that at the very least I needed to try sprinting. Maybe I won't do it as my 100%, this is the thing I do every day, but maybe I will. I don't know, we'll have to see. So I went out and I went to the school right near my house. I went to their field. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best place that I was hoping it would be, because they're in the middle of construction. And so most of the field was covered in construction stuff. But there was a corner back in the back that I could go to, and I found a spot that had mostly grass. The grass in that place was pretty ate up. It was mostly dirt. There's all sorts of big patches of dirt. And I didn't want an uneven surface, at least not on my first time trying to sprint. I did not want to fall down and just roll, because I'm old, man. And I haven't sprinted in, who knows, 20 years? Something like that. So, yeah. So I found myself a spot that was long enough, probably only 40 yards, my guess. But I ran back and forth. I took some video of myself doing it. Don't laugh. It's it's pretty pathetic. But anyways, I think I like sprinting. I have to say, I felt like I did a real workout. I felt like I really pushed myself. Even though I only ran like 10 sprints back and forth down that spot. And it felt a lot more rigorous than any of the other stuff that I've done. I'm sore in a lot of places already. It almost felt like I had been lifting weights. And that's one of the things that guy said in his video, is that sprinting will help you, it signals to your body that you should put on more muscle, which is what I think I need to do. I think that would really help things. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Tomorrow I may do my regular run. I think I'm supposed to do a 10-minute run, or possibly 12 or 13 minutes. I'm not sure, but a longer run. And maybe I'll do that and see what I think, and then compare the two between sprinting and the longer running, and decide if I want to really do this marathon thing, or if it is not that important after all, and I can just let it go. Like all the other stupid things that were on my bucket list, like bungee jumping and crap like that. I made the dumb list when I was like 20, so, you know, I had silly priorities. Anyways, yeah, so I'm fasting the rest of the time, and I'm doing great, so I'm not worried about it. And I'll tell you more about how things went, how long my fast was, all that stuff tomorrow. Okay, it is Saturday, and it was a kind of a tough day today. First of all, I got up and I did my numbers, which was the standard deal. My ketones were down a little bit, back down to 3.5, but my blood sugar was down a lot as well, all the way down to 70. In fact, the blood sugar monitor beeped at me and flashed the word hypo at me. I guess I'm teetering on the brink of being hypoglycemic, but I wasn't feeling hypoglycemic, so I think I was fine. That made my Dr. Boz ratio come out to 20, which, I mean, that's a really good ratio. So I can't complain too much. I wonder what makes still haven't totally figured out what makes my ketones go up and what makes them come down. That was the end of a long fast. I finished out my fast after taking the numbers, and I did 40 hours and 30 minutes, I think. So I went that long without eating, and I don't know if that brings your ketones down eventually. That also helps to keep them up. I don't know. They used to be way the heck down at like 1 point something, so can't complain. I'm still doing pretty good. After doing that, I went and broke my fast. I had eggs and bacon, and it's always super nice to eat after a big long fast. I ate this plate of food, and then instead of hurrying off to go on my walk like I usually do, I sat around and waited. I just wanted to make sure that I did not wind up, 10 minutes from home and suddenly I'm having diarrhea, which is something that happens kind of frequently. When I finish up a fast, when I break a fast, that'll often happen to me. So I waited an hour and I was thinking, okay, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And it never did. And I finally said, okay, I'm going for a walk. I actually went for a run. Today was the weekend day of the couch to 5K thing that I'm doing, which will eventually hopefully be a marathon to 5K. And it was the first weekend. So I took the stuff that I've been doing all week, which was run for a minute, walk for a minute, and doing that 10 times. And then eventually I did it 13 times, although I didn't have to. I was really supposed to only do it 10 times still. But the weekend run was 12 minutes straight, no walking. Just had to do that, and I managed. I went pretty slow. I was not running fast for very long, but I managed to run the entire time. There was one point where they take you down a big dip and then back up a big dip as you're going under a bridge that goes under the main road. And that I had to I slowed down enough that I basically just walked to get to the top of the hill, but it was a very short hill. It was only about 15 steps. So I think I did good. So that was pretty exciting. And then I came home, and because this week is my anniversary, me and my wife are going to be leaving town tomorrow for a little bit, just for a night basically, but we're going to go off and do some stuff. And because of that, my kids wanted to do Father's Day today. So they got some stuff ready for that. But before we even got to that, I went out and did our weekly groceries. And when I got back, we were loading up the fridge, and I noticed that there was some stuff in the fridge that it needed to be cleaned out. One of them, weirdly, there was just a burger patty sitting in the fridge in a bag. And I was like, I don't remember making this. Did I make this? Is this my burger patty? Is it somebody else's? I didn't know. But I set it aside. And then there was also, like, my wife had taken steak for her lunch to work one day and had not finished it. And she was just like, yeah, you guys eat it. So I'm like, okay, well, this is probably just going to sit in the fridge until it gets thrown away. So I'm going to eat it. And so I warmed up the burger patty and a little bit of steak. So that's what you see on the plate here. Turns out, though, that I wasn't any better, because I started eating the burger patty and my stomach started feeling a little weird. And I just wasn't feeling good. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to eat the steak. And also, there was only about 3 hours till dinner. My kids were making, you know, this stuff for me for Father's Day for dinner. And so I just said, okay, I'm not gonna eat anymore, because I don't want to be stuffed when this thing that they make for dinner comes out. So I didn't eat all of that. All I had was basically just that burger. The steak did wind up going in the garbage, which, oh, that makes me so sad. What a waste of steak. So sad. But anyways, a few hours later, like 3 or 4 hours later, we had dinner. And they made steak. So I ate steak in the end anyways. And they made ribs. Now, I'm a little worried about this stuff. You know, they made it for me, and so I ate it. They made it specifically for me, ribs and steak, because they're things that I like, and they want things that I like and things that I can eat. So they made it for me, but the ribs, they just came from Costco, and I think they already were pre-seasoned. They already had barbecue sauce on them. So barbecue sauce is synonymous with sugar, basically. So I don't know what I may have done to myself by eating some of those ribs. And then she put some spices and stuff. So, like, I don't know, rosemary or basil or something like that was on the steak. I don't remember what it was, but so I guess we'll see what these plants do when I take my numbers tomorrow. We'll see if they drop my ketones. I'll see if that barbecue sauce got me. I hope not. I hope I didn't blow it or screw anything up. Hope it's not as bad as the days when I ate cheese, but at the very least I know not to eat it again, if that is the case. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, it is Sunday, and it's a weird day. It was a weird day because I didn't get to do anything of my normal routine. Tomorrow's my anniversary, and so my wife and I are going from tonight through tomorrow to this place called Fredericksburg in Texas. And so, yeah, we are not at home to do our normal at-home thing. Is it easy? Is it possible to travel and stick to what you should be eating? It's difficult, I'll have to admit. What did I do today? First thing I did was get up and check my numbers. My blood sugar was at 94. My ketones were down to 2.5, and that made my Dr. Boz ratio go all the way up to 37, which it's funny because a while ago I would have thought, boy, that's great, 37. Oh my gosh, it's under 40. But now I'm like, that's dropped a lot. It used to be a better ratio than that. And so, I don't know, I wonder how much those ribs from last night and the steak from last night and stuff, did that have an effect on my ketones? I don't know. My blood sugar is not too much different than it has been, but the ketones have dropped down. They were up at 4 or 4.5, now all the way back to 2.5. that could have something to do with what I ate. I don't know, but as I'll let you know in a little bit, it didn't really change the way I did things. First, before that happened though, I went on my walk and I did my normal, it was a slow walk. It was just a rest walk. Yesterday was the day I did my run, so I didn't need to run again or do anything fast. It's just walking. And then I came back and I had what was left of the ribs and the steak from yesterday. I finished what was left off. So if that's what's messing with my ketones, then my ketones are only going to get worse. But I had more stuff, so it doesn't necessarily even mean that it was the reason why my ketones went down, if they do. But yeah, after that we dropped my son off. He was heading off to camp for a week, and we dropped him off, and then we went on our way to Fredericksburg, which turned out to be a longer drive than we hoped. I thought it was about 3.5 hours. It turned out to be more like 4.5 hours, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. We got to Buc-ee's, which is a place we pretty much always stop at on a road trip because we're Texans, and that's what you do. And yeah, while I was there, I thought, you know what? That brisket smells really good, and I want some. And the only way you can get brisket without sauce on it is ordering it as sliced brisket. And you have to get sliced brisket by the pound. You have to get at least a pound if you want some, which I'm fine with. I can totally eat a pound. I probably didn't need it at that particular time because it hadn't been too long since I ate the ribs and the steak, but I did it anyways. Because it was vacation. Come on, it was my anniversary. Got to celebrate. So I got myself some brisket, which turned out to have gone up in price since the last time I've done this, because it was $25 a pound for this stuff, and I was unaware of that until after we'd already paid and we walked out the door, and my wife said, "What the heck? Why did that cost so much?" And then she saw the price of my brisket and said, "Oh, well, you're lucky that we're celebrating, or else." No, she was fine with it. She was cool. So yeah, we went up to Fredericksburg, which is a quaint little town with quaint little shops and a quaint little area of quaint little Texas. And if you're into that kind of stuff, then you probably would love it. I don't know that it's necessarily my thing, but there's some things there to enjoy. We did go out to a German restaurant, because that's what Fredericksburg is. This is a place that was settled by Germans, and it's all known for the German stuff. So you gotta have German stuff when you're in Fredericksburg. So we went to this restaurant that was called the Auslander. And there they had, you know, cuckoo clocks on the wall and like paintings of like the Frauleins and their little outfits, and guys in their lederhosen. They all had big steins of beer and stuff. And the guy came and we ordered waters because it's, oh my gosh, it's hot here. You probably don't know because you're not here, but it's 104 degrees plus the humidity, which makes it even worse. It's really brutal. So yeah, we needed the water really bad. I'm sure the guy wanted us to drink a bunch of beers because they cost something and something more, much more than what we paid, but you know. So I got a bratwurst, a big sausage. My wife thought it was a 16-ounce sausage, could have been. So this is the first time I've had 3 meals in a day in a very long time. I can't remember when I did that last, but yeah, I mean, it was good. I'm sure had stuff in there that I shouldn't have been eating, so we'll see. Unfortunately, we won't see tomorrow how well that did, because I don't have my thing with me to measure my ketones and stuff. So tomorrow we'll have to just skip it. But yeah, we will see on Tuesday, I guess, how much of a damage this weekend did for me. But for now, we're just going to end this week's videos, and I'm going to send you on to Big Anklevich, who can tell you all about how the week went. Okay, so there you have it. It was a really good week. I was almost, you could say, perfect for most of the week. That very last day, I don't know, man. I ate stuff that I wouldn't eat normally. I was beef, butter, bacon, and eggs the entire time until it was time for the anniversary. And then, I don't know, that sausage, I'm sure, did not do me any favors. But it can't be too bad, I would say. Could slow me, but it's not going to kill me. I'll get right back to it. We'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do this week in just a second. But first, I did do a weigh-in. In fact, I did a weigh-in every day. As I've said before, my weigh-in is an average of my weight for the week. So I actually weigh myself every day, then I calculate the average out, and I fake it onto the scale because my scale doesn't work anyways, so I can't even take a picture of what the scale says. So here is what my weight average was for this week, 283.7. Now that's pretty good. That is down 4.1 pounds from last week, which is nothing to sneeze at. I know that in past times of doing stuff, I've had that big water flush that you often get when you start out on keto or carnivore, and I've lost like 15 pounds in a week, but I'm not retaining water like that anymore, so that doesn't happen. And so yeah, this is, I think, actual weight loss, actual legit stuff going on here, this 4 pounds. And you know, every day is a roller coaster. You go up, you go down, you retain a little more water, you retain a little less. So I'm not putting too much stock in it. Weight is not the thing that I want. I'm after health. This is Big Anklevich on health. And so that's what I'm looking for. So I don't care if it takes me a long time, if it's really slow to get there. That's fine. I'll be happy. I am still trying to get to One-derland, but not because of any arbitrary thing. I know that that's where I should be if I was healthy. So that's why I'm going there. And once I get there, maybe I'll realize, hey, this is not as healthy as I thought. And so I will change it, and then I will get, you know, more muscly or something, so that I can be healthy, if that's healthy. You know, I'm just looking for healthy. So what are we planning on doing this week? We almost, last week, did a 72-hour fast. Marshall was considering it. He was trying to decide whether he could manage it with the week that he had ahead of him. And he wasn't sure. He kept thinking about it. And in the end, he took too long. And I just said, okay, I'm just doing my regular alternate day fasting. But for next week, that's what we're doing. He's decided he's good for it. We're going to do it. 72-hour fast is going to be our fasting for this upcoming week. Because of the anniversary and stuff, I'm starting later than Marshall. I think he's already started. He started on Sunday. I'm going to be starting on Tuesday morning, Tuesday noon, basically. And I'm going to try and make sure I go the full 72 hours this time. I think last time I only made it like 68 or something, and just because of my schedule, that's when I ended it. I'm not super worried about that kind of stuff, like how many exact minutes and stuff like that have you gone. But I do like to be able to say I've done something, and to be able to say I've done a 72-hour fast when I really have only done a 68-hour fast. You know, I don't feel right doing that. So this time around, I'm gonna make sure that I get to the full 72. So that I can say, hey, I've done a 72-hour fast. It's not that bad. You should try it. If you're carnivore, I wouldn't try it otherwise. Anyways, speaking of being able to say that you've done some things, you know I've been wishy-washy on here about wanting to do a marathon, but do I want to do it? Is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be too much? Am I going to injure myself? I mean, that obviously is always a possibility, but you know, do I want to be sprinting instead? Is that the better exercise? Well, I pulled out these old videos that I had. I made them back in 2013 when I ran a half marathon, and I ran 500 miles in 1 year. And I made these countdown videos where you could see me counting down from 0 all the way to 500. Let me give you a little taste of them. So anyways, yeah, I watched those and oh my gosh, they were so inspiring. I saw that and I just thought, I want to be that dude again that can do that. And the worst thing is, it gets to the end of the 500 miles and I'm just like, yay, I run 500 miles. And then the thing comes up and it says, next up, run a full marathon. And I've never done that. It's been 10 years. And I still haven't done that. And so after I saw that, I said, you know what? That's it. I'm doing it. I'm going to run that full marathon. It's gonna happen. Barring injury or some other catastrophe, that is what I'm going to work towards. And then we can worry about sprinting and gaining muscle and whatever when I'm done. I am going to complete that bucket list item so that I can say that I have done it. And I'm partway through the Couch to 5K already. I'm past week 1. I ran for 15 minutes, 12 minutes. I don't remember how long it was straight on Saturday. And it's stepping up again on this upcoming Saturday. And I am going for it. So I am excited. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to get myself one of those 26.2 stickers and put it on my car. And then I'm probably going to never run long distance again. And I'll do all sprinting and weightlifting and be the most jacked dude you ever saw. But for now, it's marathon. That's my training. I've decided I am all in and we're going for it. I'm going to get to the end and get that final achievement in long distance running that I never made. So there you go. There's your announcement. And that's it for today. I will see you guys again next week. Thanks for watching, and can't wait to see you next time on Big Anklovich on Health.